Guys, welcome to another episode of In Those We Trust podcast. Of course, hell of a weekend. And when it comes to the NFL playoff time, you know how we them boys, the Cowboys got it done. And it's playoff season, baby. This is the you in or you out, and this is real football time. Of course, I got my guy in the building, Liam Stokes, right here with me.
Leek, what's up? What's up? I'm sure you're a happy man. Happy man today.
I'm happy. This is the happiest I'm probably going to be all year. But
You never know. We'll touch base on your game this week a little later. I got a weird feeling, but
okay. Go ahead. I'm going to allow Liam to jump it off. We're going to take this in chronological order, starting with the first game of the day and that of the weekend. And that was
great weekend of football, and it started off on Saturday. The 49ers beat the Seahawks 41-23.
Yeah,
Leek, I'll have you start, given that this is your new opponent. What you saw, because this was a weird game in the first half. This was a Seahawks lead going into half, but if you look at the final score, it didn't look like that.
I think we have your end of discussion for Coach of the Year. I think when we look at Coach of the Year, Kyle Shanahan, correct?
Yes.
That's his name, right? Yeah. So I just want to make sure I don't fuck that up. Kyle Shanahan. When I look at coaching, when I look at swagger of a coach I would want to play for, I would say right now, there's only two right now in the post three. No, I would say that one just slipped out. But I would say Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan. And to be honest with you, I would, if I would out of any other ones in a playoff picture, I would love to play for the Giants head coach. He just seems like he's a fucking guy from South Philly that picks up the trash. Like he's just a fucking rugged guy, and I love that energy. But looking at this Seahawks 49ers game, I could say by all means, in my hearts, I love Geno Smith. I have a deep love for him because of me loving college football and what he meant to college football. And I think a lot of people don't really remember his time when he was playing. But no matter what, it was the all year. That's all I heard from Eagles fans is we are only worried about the San Francisco 49ers, right?
I feel like I've been telling you that for months.
Yeah, you've been saying that all year long. And, you know, I think that I'm still coming off the sense of, like, I have the hate for them because of what they did last year. And we'll talk again about that as time gets close for the Cowboys talk. But fuck, man, you want to talk about explosive? You want to talk about can beat you all ends? Perfect play calling? That's it right there. That's firing on all cylinders. And I will say, besides the one guy, you want to talk about who's in the system? Brock Purdy. That's a system quarterback in my eyes. That's you want to make the MVP discussion. I just hate the media is putting him on a pedestal, but wanted to drag down Jalen Hurts when it came to that MVP discussion of he's a system quarterback. This is the definition of a system quarterback.
Welcome to the Philly hate league.
It's ridiculous, and it opens your eyes to understand that what the fuck are you saying to me? You mean to tell me first string quarterback, a second string quarterback, a third string quarterback comes into the system and is able to win? Let's not say that. Let's not make it seem like he's fucking amazing, Mr. Irrelevant. The story of Mr. Irrelevant. He is so fucking no. It's the system, and keep it to the system, and be honest with yourself. But let's push this story. Let's push this Mr. Irrelevant story by all means. But either way, they look fucking nice. That offensive line, they have probably one of the greatest offensive linemen of our time.
Yep.
Damn, what's his fucking name?
Trent Williams.
Trent Williams. In the league for fucking he's surpassed the mediums 20 years. He's been in the league forever.
It feels like he's been in our entire life.
Yeah, and still balling, right? And then you do a coaching decision. You go and pick up McCaffrey. And McCaffrey, people were saying that McCaffrey is like Pollard. I think it's not even close in discussion. When it comes to maybe in the backfield, you can make that argument maybe. But this guy, you can put him at slot. You can put him anywhere in your offense, and he's a dog. So I'm a little worried, but we'll talk about that later. But I was happy for the Seahawks I want to see what the Seahawks do in this move with Geno. Do you keep Geno or do you get rid of him? What does it look like next year?
Right. You're right. That's an interesting debate. I feel like he almost played himself into that starting quarterback, but the Seahawks are in a weird position where normally you get to the playoffs with that quarterback. You almost force your hand because of that draft pick. Well, the Broncos were so bad that the Seahawks now can leverage whatever they want to go and get a CJ Stroud with the 4th overall pick. So that's going to be interesting. I know we touched on this. My girl, she's a huge Niners fan, so I watched this game closely. I was watching with a diehard Niners fan. Even in that first half, I mean, she was chilling. She was literally like, there's no worry in my mind. Big plays were happening. Brock Purdy looked like a 7th-round draft pick in that first half. He was missing wide open throws. He looked shaky. He looked nervous. And then the fucking second half happened, and before you blink, it's a 20-point lead. And I think, it's interesting to have Kyle Shanahan as the coach of the year. The MVP of the league is on the 49ers. It is not Brock Purdy. It is Christian McCaffrey. As soon as they traded for this dude, I think they're 11 in a row now. They're 11-0 with McCaffrey, and the team just is fucking loaded. They're absolutely loaded, and it starts with him. Again, I told my girlfriend Sabrina, her brother-in-law out in LA is a huge Niners fan. Like, we were texting about the trade, and we were like, I told him, you might have gotten the best running back in the entire NFL. To add to a team that was already going to win that division and probably make a deep playoff run, you added the best running back in the league, arguably, which is the one position that Kyle Shanahan, we've seen Jeff Wilson, Raheem Mostert, I'm drawing a blank on a couple of the other guys, but that's what it's been. It's just been these random guys that have been studs for the 49ers in that backfield. So now you add Christian McCaffrey to the mix, to George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They're fucking loaded. I told you my main worry with this Niners team is how fast that defense is on all three levels. And, man, I mean, we fucking saw it. 17-16 down at half, and you really never even had to think otherwise that this was not going to be a Niners blowout. So I told you this is the team I'm afraid of the most. Again, we'll touch on the Cowboys Niners later, but this is the one time of year you'll get me being a Cowboys fan. But I guess with Geno too on your point there, if I'm the Seahawks, I'd bring him back on a team friendly deal, but I still look for the future. It feels like Geno's another player that's been in the league for like 50 years, but can he recreate this? Can he do this again? I don't know. And if CJ Stroud is there at the 4th pick, it's tough not to take him.
I think you take CJ Stroud. I think no matter what it's one of those things that it's unfair that he's in that picture again. But I think he just earned himself some more years in the league, and I think that's the best he could do, right? You can look at yourself like, I just earned a number 2, and possibly I can go play for 1 if I have to. If the situation is right, I could end up in a situation where I'm playing the year and the team doesn't even blink twice at it, right? But you pick up CJ Stroud, you pick up a quarterback that you can develop again, like a Russell Wilson, like develop him into your quarterback, to that 12th man, to lead that 12th man to another championship. And I don't think it's going to be Geno Smith. Do I see Geno Smith being your 17 game guy? I don't think so. He was the guy that came in, stepped up, played amazing, did what he had to do. But again, he didn't win. Like, if he went out and won and leads them to some more shit, let's see. But he definitely earned himself some years. Yeah, definitely did. And you know what? Seahawks fans, be happy. This was an incredible year. I before the season started, I had him pegged for 5 wins, maybe. Yeah. And then you had the Russell Wilson breakup. You won. I mean, he was garbage. So you got the draft pick, and I'm sure it was fun to see Russell Wilson crash and burn every week for them. Exactly. But moving on to the second game. One of the craziest games I've ever watched. Chargers 30, Jaguars 31. The Chargers blow a 27-0 lead. Holy shit. I had them. So on my bracket, I picked them to win. I picked the Jags to win. And people will say, we all picked them coming off of that heat. It was due time for the Jags, right? It was due time. To me, I look at Lawrence and Chargers quarterback. What's his name? Herbert in the same class. I look at them the same. Yeah. Let's see who's going to be that next generational guy. And I would pick Lawrence 100% over the way. Not to say I can't discredit Herbert for the throws he makes, because he looks fucking amazing sometimes. But I'll be remiss to say when I watched that game at halftime, it was 27 or 24-0. Yeah, I think at half it might have been 27-7. I think the Jaguars scored going into the half. Pretty much a blowout. So I'm sitting on the couch with Kat, and we're watching. And she's like, you want to watch this game or what? I was like, I'll put it on my phone. I'm not dying to watch this game. It already looks like it's a shitty game. Completely forgot about it. Didn't even pay attention. I get a drunk call from you at 11:45 at night. This is the best game I ever watched in my life. And I was like, you're shitting me. You have to be kidding me. So what the fuck? And as we said, you can't win a playoff game throwing 3 picks. And he fucking threw 3 picks in that game. So let me know what the fuck happened. 4? It was 4. He threw 3 to Asante Samuel Jr. alone. Yeah.
This was, I think I texted you when this game was going on, 27-0, 27-7. I just texted the Chargers because this was one of the picks that we had going against each other. Yeah. And this is why I had the Chargers, because you see the talent on their team. Mm-hmm. Now, did I ever expect it to be that big of a blowout at any point? No.
Yeah.
But you kind of saw like this, when the Chargers are firing on all cylinders, this is what you can get. Because Herbert has that top-tier talent. You have Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen. You didn't have Mike Williams, which is a big botch on their end. You have guys on the defensive end, Joey Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel.
Fucking hate him, yo.
Like, you have names. Like, you have names on this team, so that's what you can do. Never, ever should you win a football game when you win the turnover battle.
Yeah, never.
+5. Never.
Jesus.
The fact that head coach Brandon Staley's not fired yet is beyond me. But it's cool to see the Jags, man. I mean, that stadium was rocking. I like Trevor Lawrence a lot. Obviously, will always be a Doug Peterson fan.
Yeah.
So it was just one of those, like, it's corny to say, but whenever you're watching a blowout, whenever you're watching a mismatch, the corny thing to say, play the whole game, play until the clock hits 0. Anything can happen. We see this all the time, and it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
These are the reasons we say that. In the biggest of moments, down 27-0, and your franchise quarterback looks like Brock Purdy should be looking. How are you supposed to have hope?
Yeah.
And man, they fucking pulled it off. I don't know if that magic's going to continue against the Chiefs, but this was just a pure class. Chargers collapse again. You need to fire your head coach. There's a lot of rumors that Sean Payton might have interest in coming in there. I think that would be a good fit. Give that Justin Herbert some offensive mindedness, because that coach is just a fucking idiot. Mm-hmm. Good for the Jags. Good for Doug Peterson. Good for Trevor Lawrence coming back like that.
I think for some reason the Jags and Chiefs is always an interesting game. It always is something weird that goes on, or whatever it may be. But I think that this game could either go two ways, either blowout Chiefs way, or it's just close. And I think it'll be close, because I'm surprised. I think this was a wake up for Trevor Lawrence, because I think he's developed into the quarterback. Yep. And that was him trying to force some shit in a playoff atmosphere, right? That was I think one of those just like was a tip, like stuff. Shit happens.
Yeah.
Shit happens.
First one was a tip off a D lineman.
Yeah.
Again, we'll touch on this weekend's games a little later on. But Andy Reid versus his predecessor Doug Peterson, that'll be cool. Yeah. Here's a quick stat for you before we move on. The last time Trevor Lawrence lost a football game on a Saturday was in middle school, bro. Did you see that?
School. Yeah, middle school.
That
dog.
Unbelievable.
Dog, baby.
And you know what? They play on Saturday.
Another Saturday game. I was watching when he fucking beat Bama in the national championship game, Clemson.
Yep.
I knew him in high school. Actually, I knew him in high school because he was famous for the hair. Like, everyone was talking about this quarterback coming out, and could he live up to the standards? So
I think it was him and Justin Fields, if I remember correctly, like coming out of that high school class. They were both really highlighted. So they were both the big guys, and they would go to like the Nike camps and stuff. You would see them there because he just would sling, and he looked like he was 6'4" in high school. He was a dog. So hey, go win it. Like, this is a chance. This has a predicament on both sides to end up with either a Cowboys Super Bowl or Eagles Super Bowl. It's weird, bro. Something's weird in the air. It's a weird year. It's a weird year. And again, credit to Trevor Lawrence, man. I think the one last thing that I have is we know his skill set. You just mentioned how big, how tough he is, how big his arm is, how mobile he is. To have the poise and the ability to throw 4 interceptions back to back in the first half like that, to almost single-handedly put your team down 27, but still have the mental toughness to chip away, and play beyond good enough to come back and win that game. Hats off to you, because that's tough to do.
Yeah, 100%.
That's tough to do. Moving into Sunday, a game that I don't know if any of us saw would be this close. The Bills-Dolphins. Bills won 34-31. This game came down to the wire. Are you surprised at all? Is there worry now for the Bills?
No, I think it just plays into playoff, like we talked about, playoff atmosphere. Mm-hmm. You never know where it's going to go. That quarterback, I had no idea who the fuck he was. But I was like, hey, he's playing. He's coming out there. He's slinging the rock. And I think this is a bigger wake-up call for the Bills to say, okay, we got to throttle all the way through. Mm-hmm. We can't take no shortcuts. And to me, biggest surprise was to see fucking Beasley coming back. And did he make it? He had a tug, right?
He did.
He had a touchdown. I was like, fuck, man, that's my guy. You have to remember, Beasley was my guy at the Cowboys. So to see, and I was just about to say, it sucks that the guys that were there in Buffalo back in the day, that kind of, not back in the day, but a couple years ago, that were on the forefront of turning over this organization. You got Beasley. I forget who else I was thinking about, but like these guys that aren't there anymore. And then he goes and scored, and I'm like, oh shit, Beasley came back. That's fucking nuts. But I think it's a wake up call. I think it's like we gotta outdo these guys, put together. I think this is my hot take. If they go out next round and they don't win, it's time to let's take a serious consideration at Josh Allen. Josh Allen could be perfect all year long, but he can't win you that big game. And I think that's a discussion we need to start having. If he can't beat Patrick Mahomes, if he can't beat these guys in the big time games, we need to start having a serious discussion on how good how is he really that good, Josh Allen? Can he lead your team? And I think they suck his dick so much during the year of how physical he is, how he'll run, how he'll throw. But let's keep it real. If he loses this.
This was my exact points that I had on this game. I think we even need to start right now on Josh Allen. And listen, I love watching him play. He's fun as shit to watch. He's a real dude. You can tell that when he speaks to the media, like he speaks his mind. But even this game, 2 bad interceptions. And, there's a lot of times where he kind of just relies on that arm to just throw it deep downfield, almost like close your eyes and let's see how it goes. And when you play, if you're going to play like that against the Bengals coming up or against the Chiefs, let's just say, in the AFC Championship game or even the Jags, you're going to lose. If Skylar Thompson isn't that quarterback of the Dolphins, Bills are upset. Yeah. Even if it's Teddy Bridgewater, I feel like the Dolphins would have had a chance. And that's not the problem with Skylar Thompson. It's just to be like, that's your third-string quarterback that took you down to the absolute wire because of your mistakes.
Yeah.
Because of your mistakes. And, we talk about it all the time with running quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts got a little bit of criticism. Lamar always gets it of running quarterbacks never last. You never see Jalen Hurts. You never see Lamar Jackson Superman dive at midfield, get spun around, just bury his head. But for whatever reason, we applaud Josh Allen for doing it. I don't know if it's because he's just a bigger dude.
Yeah, he's bigger,
get his head knocked off. So, listen, man, this is, again, an interesting matchup where, like you just said, last year you lost to Patrick Mahomes. Now you're playing Joe Burrow. There's a lot of good young quarterbacks in this league. And even Trevor Lawrence now has shown us something that Josh Allen can really fall through the cracks quickly because of his reckless play. Like you said, I feel like a lot of people just dick ride the guy.
Yeah.
He's fun. Like the Bills are a fun team to watch, and it starts with him. But if this is any other quarterback making these mistakes, and again, we'll talk about your guy, but if this is Dak throwing 2 picks that almost lost to a team they should have blown out, double-digit favorites, that would be the conversation.
Yeah. And I think, I already have a bias of, it's hard for me to root for the Bills because of what they disrespected us. I think it was like 3 years ago when they came to Dallas and went off on us. It's hard for me to go for them. But Allen, he gets around the league, he gets a lot of praise from a lot of players. They fuck with him heavy. Like even Parsons fucks with him really, really heavy. But I think it's if they go out in this game and you see that, did they lose last year to Burrow?
No, so last year I believe was that crazy Bills-Chiefs game that was like touchdown.
Yep, you're right.
And I don't have the stats in front of me, but I don't know what Josh Allen's turnovers look like. And again, he is awesome. He is a top-tier quarterback in this league. There's not a lot of quarterbacks I would take over Josh Allen.
I'll give you that.
You're exactly right. If this is a loss or if he plays poorly again, it's time to start having this conversation of he needs to fix what his shit's going on because it's affecting the Bills.
I got you. I agree. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So the next game we had, Battle of the Frauds, as we called it. Giants.
Got shit for that. Someone hit me up, bro.
Giants 31, Vikings 24. They are who we thought they were, the Vikings. Giants actually looked all right. Yeah, skull, baby. That's right.
I love to see it.
Yeah, I do fucking love to see it too. I'll talk about it. I'll let you lead off yet again. They are who we thought they were.
Yeah, I think that it's. I love it that they exposed the Vikings. You want to talk about this, and I must seem like a fucking Eagles fan to Cowboys fans right now. But when you talk about scheduling, right? You talk about an easy schedule, the games that they were supposed to win, and the Vikings aid to my rescue, right? They show you that I think you got to take my point of view now. You have to say I'm correct in this discussion of would you rather a team that wins by last minute field goals when it comes down to that playoff season, or win the big by at least 14 to go into the playoff season? And they showed you we can't win, we can't separate, and you let the Giants come in and fuck you off. And I low key was rooting for the Giants off the fact that if I win, I don't want to play the Eagles. So off rip, I was that's my go for was like, okay, no matter what, if Dallas has to go into Philly, we're losing regardless. But I was like, I'd rather the Giants fans take that heat of losing to the Eagles rather than Cowboys fans take that heat for now. I can't take that this year. But it was awesome to see that coaching went in. I think that Daniel Jones has no way of beating you guys. Yeah. And I said I coined him at least throwing 2 picks versus you guys, and the game is not going to be in his hands. I think it's time to admit it, even though I love him. Saquon just doesn't have it. He just isn't that dog in my eyes. When I watched that game, I didn't see crazy swiftness. I would say Pollard's having a way better year than he is, of course. But I didn't see it from him. I'm sorry. Like, he looks like a 2 years ago Zeke, and that's not a lot to say. You know what I mean? That's Zeke being who Zeke is. So I don't know where they're going to fire on, where they're going to beat you guys at. They can't beat you guys up front. They can't beat you guys with a wide receiver threat. I think they have one wide receiver who's decent. I don't even fucking know his name. Yeah. And then they have him. Like, if you're putting in Daniel Jones's hands, good luck. Good W to the Eagles already.
Yeah.
But no matter what, in the back of your head, the Giants find a way to win in these circumstances. Everyone's going to talk about this is what happened when Eli Manning was a quarterback of the Giants. They started off just like this. They had a rough year, and they made it to the playoffs, and they won the Super Bowl. You don't have fucking Eli Manning back there, though.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that point. So let's move on past this week.
Yeah, definitely. Well, look, first and foremost, this game kind of went for and against your theory, because the Giants were another one of those teams that were winning these close games somehow, some way, and they did it again. So it definitely goes for both of our points there. God, man, 4 o'clock, Kirk Cousins. If this game was 1 o'clock, the Vikings win, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. Down to the last play, you can sum this game up in the last play, 4th and 8, and Kirk Cousins throws a 2-yard slant route to his fucking tight end.
But I don't put that on him.
Bro, you have the best receiver in the league. You find him and you throw it up and have him make a play. There's no way.
Agreed.
They throw it 2 yards on a 4th and 8, on a 4th end of the season. The season's on.
4th in the season, yeah.
This isn't end of the third quarter that you're going for. It's a big play. This is it. You don't get it. You're done. You're going home.
No, I put that on the tight end too. You're a professional. You know the sticks are. Your depth should be 3 yards past the sticks, and that's where I throw that on him. You know,
but maybe the play call
as well.
Draw that backer down as it did, because now you have one less defender to worry about. You have 3 rushing the passer, right? So now you have to deal with 7 on the back end. And again, you have the best receiver in the league. You have Adam Thielen, who isn't what he used to be, but goddamn, if he's past the sticks, just fucking throw it to the guy. Giants are cool. It's a cool story. We've been saying it all year. They're cool, and they're fun, and they win weird games. But now you're coming in to Philadelphia, Lincoln Financial Field. What time – I mean, what, are the Eagles fans going to be drinking for 12 hours on fucking – and then Saturday night game's going to happen? You're telling me the Giants are going to win?
You guys play 8:15 or 8:20 or something like that?
Yep. Saturday night. But going back to this game, listen, props to Daniel Jones. This was the best game I've ever seen him play. It was in his first playoff, and he was dynamite. Your Saquon is Saquon. Their defense played up to the par. Vikings' issue was their defense, and Brian Dable and that Giants offense took advantage. Daniel Jones looks quick. He looked like he had a little bit more zip on the ball. Like, they definitely are gaining more and more confidence. Yeah. But God, the Vikings.
I think the way the Giants win, and you're going to be pissed off for me saying this, go at Slay. Slay, for some reason, it seemed like such a bitch recently. He seemed me a little bit off. He's so worried about his coverage, his deep coverage. He's tweeting about it and stuff like that. Let's expose Slay. That's your best bet. But who do you have to expose Slay?
And I was going to say, and if that's your best bet to attack a Pro Bowl corner, I'm fine with it. But Giants are a cool story. Again, we'll talk about this upcoming week. But, man, if you're a Vikings fan, God bless you. But moving on to a heartbreaking one for our guy Javon. Bengals 24, Ravens 17. Ravens win this game with Lamar.
Would you say that this was the game of the weekend?
I think the game of the weekend probably was Jags-Chargers, but this
For
was
the
a
comeback reason. I think this game was just good
this was
up to the
close.
minute.
Yeah, this was a close second. It's two. Again, we talk about the division rivals all the time.
Yeah.
Teams that just know each other. The Ravens defense is elite. I don't think they get enough credit.
Oh shit! Drop the scare. Hold on.
Listen, Ravens defense is enough to scare your laptop, bro. They're that good. They don't. I don't think they get the credit they deserve. I mean, it really it comes down to if Tyler Huntley doesn't try to Superman at the goal 3-yard line, the Ravens could still be playing.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so pissed off at watching that. I was like, you dumb fucking bitch. To me, that's not worse than that last throw in my eyes. That last throw looked so bad. How scared he looked, falling backwards, almost stumbling over his feet and just lobbing it up. And they still had a chance to almost catch it. I thought he almost caught that ball. But I think that the Bengals are on their Bengal run again, which is I love to see. The Cincy boy running it back. I thought he was in for a second. I thought he got it over at least for a second.
I thought so too.
Nowhere close, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, get that shit over. This is, like, if you're going to jump fucking Superman that bitch, don't try to do a bitch little, hopefully I get it.
And then not have the ball.
Yeah, not have both grass. Shout out to that, the Cincinnati dude. Apparently he's from the hometown as well.
I think he went to Ohio State.
He did. In the right place at the right time for that scoop of score, and that motherfucker was gassed.
Yeah,
talking about gas. He almost got hawked down on the sidelines with oxygen. But I think when you look at this game, like, it was a complete game. It was a rivalry playoff game. I think no matter what, this is awesome to go into the next week for the Bengals. To play at this caliber of a level, to play a team that was decent, to play a decent team and have to beat them on all cylinders, have to beat them on a defensive side, and people aren't. Respect to the Bengals defense, man. They got some defensive guys up front.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I think the Ravens are a fucking tough team.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler Huntley sucks.
Different story. You're right.
That was still a damn good game that they could have won. Again, if Lamar's in there, I think it's a different story. But give credit to the Bengals. I mean, they just out-toughed one of the tougher teams in the NFL and did what they needed to do. And like you said, this happened last year with the Bengals.
Yeah.
There was almost every game they probably should have lost, but they just win in our original brackets. And again, we'll touch on the games later. But I had the Bengals beating the Bills for that reason. But now it's going to be interesting. I think you're going to get a lot of talk of, the Bengals barely beat the Ravens without Lamar.
Backup.
I don't think people are going to be giving the Ravens the credit that they deserve for being that good of a team.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. It was definitely one of the games of the weekends.
Yeah, for sure.
And then finally, unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys have won their first road playoff game since 1992, well before Malik and I were even thought about. So that's very cool for Malik. I'm happy for him. Cowboys 31, Buccaneers 14. We'll touch on Tom Brady in a bit, but Cowboys, man, I got to give them all credit, so I'll let you start.
Shocked. I think we shocked the world. They shocked me. I would say that for a fact, right? I said going to this game, I picked the Tampa Bay to win. No matter what, of course, in my heart, I want us to win. Of course, I want us to win every game. But being realistic, the recipe we were given to Tom Brady with our whole defensive backs being out and where they were playing at, and this kind of being a recipe for Tom Brady. I know Tom Brady and them are starting to get hot, so that's what kind of got me nervous. But I think this is the first time I've ever seen the Cowboys play a complete game besides for two players, the kicker and Trayvon Diggs. That's in my eyes, those two players played a shitty game, and that was the bad takeaway. I would say the best play calling I've ever seen by our offensive coordinator.
Yep.
Best play calling I've seen, and I told the cat, I looked at the cat, I said, "Yo, be happy right now because next year our defense is gonna be shit with Dan Quinn leaving because he coaches a perfect fucking game." Every week we have a chance because of him being our defensive coordinator. I think this is where we want to see Dak at. Like we just want this Dak. This is all we want. Just play. We want you to make these plays. We want you to make these throws. He was spot on. Yeah, and this is what we do see in Dak every week besides last couple of weeks. But we see Dak go one pick and he's perfect the rest of the game. It tanks the rest of the game for him.
Yeah.
But that's what he's been at all year. But to step up in that suit, I think he's played his best game of his career in my eyes. That was. I think another discussion that we have to look at is Zeke's done. It breaks my heart to say that. Like, I love Zeke. I'm scared that he's going to go somewhere else and probably ball out. But if we want to, we keep Zeke to be the fullback to Pollard and just go off of that, have the 2-back look of them two. But I think we need to see Pollard step up a lot. He didn't step up as much as he did in some scenario, got some first downs. But I think we really have to look at the way Dak played. It just was perfect. It was beautiful to finally see the Cowboys play up to that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, Dak Prescott, that's all I can say. And it literally makes me sick to my stomach to admit it, but the dude was flawless, man. He was flawless. I mean, I would say he had the best quarterback performance all weekend, almost by far. Yeah. I mean, he was flawless, and
it was a perfect game calling. Like, I mean, going down to like the fuck it, 4th and 4. What are we going to do?
Exactly.
Perfect play calling. And as soon as they did that play to where Dak scored, I was like, that's just that's the Peyton Manning, and that's what Peyton Manning did to us when he was with the Broncos. Yeah. So I was like, damn, this is nuts to see. But I think it was just perfect play calling. But I want to attack one player. I want to attack Tavon Diggs. Tavon Diggs, you look like shit. Like, completely like shit, bro. You played soft as fuck. You allowed Mike Evans to gain first downs on you when Mike Evans didn't want to be out there anymore. Mm-hmm. And if him and Brady were on, if they were still if they were intact with one another, he scores 3 times. They just were so off that it was like unfair. You did nothing the entire game. You didn't come up and stop first downs. It was 3rd and 9 and you give it up. You play soft, like soft. If this was Bama, he would have been benched. Let's not act like Nick Saban would have ever let this rock. Nick Saban would have benched his dumbass. Like, and then after the games, you want to talk to fucking on social media towards what's his name? The commentator, Smith.
Oh yeah.
You're talking shit on the scoreboard.
Yeah,
scoreboard. Yep. If next week, if you go out and the fucking and San Francisco shits on you, if you have Samuels go for 2 on you, I'm going to fucking explode because you played so shitty this game, and it pissed me off more than anything how shitty he played. Pissed me off, and they had the nerve to go on Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, no, exactly. I texted you, first quarter, and I asked you what your quarterback 2's name is because I just love how much better he plays. He plays a position better. He plays a position a lot better.
Wilson has always been my guy. He's been hurt and come in.
Yep.
I loved him. He comes up, he lays a stick. But we did have a new quarterback that I never fucking – he's an African name. I'm not even going to try to do it. Another baller. Balled out. But go back, as Cowboys fans, go back and watch that game. And watch the defensive side and watch how many times they pick up first downs because of Tavon Diggs not coming up to make a lay tackle. He may be hurt. I don't know. But that looked like the most pussy shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. I think he's the most overrated quarterback in the league, so that definitely makes sense. But yeah, I mean, listen to your point previously of the coaching. You know, the 2 things that I said I was not worried about, and that you were telling me you are worried about as a Cowboys fan, Dak Prescott and the coaching staff, and both of them were the reason you won. So it's aggression. Going for it on 4th downs. Dak letting it sling a little bit, and then his defense playing with a little bit of an edge. I do think, I know it's Tom Brady, but the Buccaneers, again, they are who we thought they were. Like, they just fucking suck. They're 8-9 for a reason, and they showed that they didn't belong in the playoffs. But you still got to beat them on the road on Monday night, and the Cowboys did that.
I do appreciate the league not saying this is a shitty Tampa Bay team.
Yeah.
I do appreciate the league saying no matter what, this is Brady. You beat Brady. At least you beat Brady. So
let me ask you before we move on to this week, does Tom Brady play another snap of football?
I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't even want to get into this conspiracy bullshit. Like, I think he doesn't want to leave football. Like, it sucks that he has that in him because I know how hard it is for NFL players or pro athletes to retire. And I think he has that in him to where he just is like a Brett Favre. He doesn't want to walk away from the game. His identity is football. His identity is football so much so he lost his wife to go for it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Like, I'll ride with that. You know what I mean? Like, his identity is that. So I think he wants to go out on top. I think he actually goes back home, though. I think he goes back home either San Francisco or to LA to be closer to where he's from. He's from the Bay. So I think the opportunity for him to go to San Fran, I mean, they don't have fucking nobody besides Trey Lance. He's hurt. Bring him in for a year. Bring him in for a year.
Don't disrespect Brock, bro. He's going to hear this, and he's going to make you pay for it this weekend.
Get the fuck out of here. He'll be back to a 3rd string next year. Yeah. Let's be honest here. But
I do think Tom plays next year. I don't think it's going to be in Tampa Bay.
No, we'll take you in Dallas for a year. We'll take you.
Yeah.
We'll take you any chance you get, Brody.
Yeah.
But I'm very. I think it was what I needed. I need the Cowboys to come back. I think they showed me up this year. Like they showed me that man, when it comes down to it, when we do fire on our cylinders, we can beat teams.
Yeah,
when we fire on all cylinders. When our defense played amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I did tell you last week, I said, our stats don't prove that the sacks, but it showed you how many sacks we could have had without Tom Brady being the quarterback who he is and just throwing it away, throwing it in the dirt. So that's something in itself. On paper, we may not have that, but we force you to throw the ball up and let's go get a pick, or we force you to throw it in the dirt, fourth down, punt that ball over to us. So I'm excited for this week coming up.
Yeah, this should be a good one. And I guess now transitioning into this week, let's get a little breakdown on each game. We'll talk about the NFC first. Let's keep this thing rolling. We had enough Cowboys talk for now. So let's go Birds Giants. I know you kind of touched on what you think. I'll let you start since I have my opinions. Eagles 7.5-point favorites at the Link Saturday night. Do the Giants have a chance in hell in your mind?
They do, only because of the Giants. And I'm going off of its playoff. It's I don't know where Jalen Hurts is at. Mm-hmm. This is the game that proved to me if he's still a little iffy or if he's ready to go. No matter what, I still edge the Eagles. I still say you guys win by I would say at least by 10 at minimum. Yeah, at minimum. Yeah. But no matter what, they're rugged. The Giants are rugged, man. They have a lot to prove. Can we stay on the road and come into a stadium that's going to be this? It's going to be the drunkenness of all hells. It's going to be the loudest stadium they play in all year. It's going to be, you want Philly to wait until 8 o'clock at night for the game to start? Bugging. And Eli's going to be there. I said Eli Manning better not go in the field. If he goes in the field, it's going to be even worse. He might as well stay up in the press box and look cute. By all means, don't go out there for pregame. No. Please don't. No. They're going to be in that state. They'll be seated. You think that shit will be packed out pregame. I still edge the Eagles. But hey, the Giants are the Giants, man. Just letting you know, if you fucking lose, I would tell you don't come on this podcast next week. I would say delete my number, block me, you and Tone. Because the shit I'm going to talk, you think Stephen A's back against the Cowboys? Holy shit. But I don't see that happening. No.
Yeah, no, I don't either. Again, like we said, the Giants are cool. It's a cool story. But no, I think right now Jalen Hurts has been full practice all week. There's no injury designation to his name. I think he's ready to ball out. I've seen this movie before. 5 years ago, I've seen this movie before. Eagles are the 1 seed, but continue to get disrespected. Yeah. And that's all I'm watching NFL Network this morning and their power rankings. Eagles are 5th. Niners are 1. I'm watching all this Cowboys talk, that the Cowboys are the most exciting team. If the Niners don't win the NFC, the Cowboys will. It's really? I've seen this movie before of the disrespect, and it's almost like you forget how good the Eagles were. And I guess I understand it because Hurts hasn't played in 2 weeks, and then we played the Giants week 18 with a plan A offense, which is just 3-4 plays just to get Hurts back with them. The last time the Eagles and Giants played at full health was like November, and the Eagles won by 20. I mean, it was a 24-0 game at one point, 21-0. Like, it wasn't close. I can see this being what the Seahawks-Niners game was, where the Giants keep it close. Eagles maybe come out a little flat. Maybe it's to the point where I'm like, what the fuck is happening? But at the end of the day, the better team is going to win. That place is going to be rocking. Jalen Hurts is hearing all this hate. Yeah. He's been waiting for this shoulder to heal up. He's been waiting for his moment since last year when the Eagles got throttled against the Bucs. And all this disrespect that Hurts has had has led up to this moment. I am not worried one bit about this game. I don't see a way the Giants win, and this could come back and bite me completely in the ass. I would quit the podcast altogether if the Eagles lose. There's just I don't see a way. It may be close, but I don't see the end score. Like you said, I don't see it being any closer than 10 points. I really don't.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pumped. I think moving on to the NFC Championship game at the Link. Who will they play leading into it? Niners, Cowboys. A classic match.
All right. We're going to bring in another. Let's give my boy some cheers. Give him some cheers.
Stone Bone
coming in. So we have Anthony. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
We got Anthony Perkins. I would say probably the most delusional Eagles fan in the building. We just talked about the Cowboys winning, as well as now moving on to our predictions for next week. Wanted to hear you out, see where you're sitting at, what your thoughts are on the league, as well as where you sit at with this playoff prediction versus the Giants.
Okay. Well, let's start off with this Cowboys game real quick, though. I'm really sick of these delusional Cowboys fans who are celebrating this win like it's the Super Bowl. We all know the NFC South is the worst division in the league this year. The Bucs is terrible. Tom is not showing what he used to. So, you know what? But it's a good win for Cowboys fans. But another thing that I hate so bad, right, is the lack of leadership from Dak Prescott. Like, yeah, the kicker missed 4 extra points. You can't have that. But the fact that he's slamming his helmet on the ground, saying "fuck it, let's go for 2," all this extra stuff, like, bro, you do know you led the league in interceptions, right? You do know that, right? You do know that you cost your team more games than that kicker did this year. You know that, right? So it's like, bro, who do you think you are? Show leadership, bro. It's just sickening, but whatever. But
hold on, this is funny coming from Anthony Perkins because now I put you in that same predicament. Do you make that same? Do you get pissed off as well?
What?
For the missed field goals, do you, as putting yourself in that picture, would you be frustrated when it comes playoff time that we have a kicker that can't make it?
Yes. But you know what I'm doing, Malik? I'm saying, what the fuck? I'm not throwing my fucking helmet to the ground, being dramatic when I'm the freaking quarterback of America's team, quote unquote.
That's cat.
And I know cameras is on me 24/7. That's a lack of leadership right there. Be like, oh, all right, come on, go up to him. You got it, bro. This is third. You don't throw your helmet on the ground. What? You was winning. If you was losing and you doing that, okay, maybe.
There's no such thing. There's no such thing as who gives a fuck about the points when you're playing Tom Brady. No such thing.
Bro, the point of the matter is that you just always going to find a reason to give Dak a pass, but it's okay.
No. I didn't even say I fucking disagree with you. I say I agree with you when it comes to expressing frustration publicly like that. And he definitely apologized. He went up to him, apologized, said, "I have trust in you. I believe in you going forward." So he knew he was in the wrong. And that's just, again, game frustration that gets to it. Of course, especially when you're playing Tom Brady. That's where that comes from. But I agree.
Fuck the code. Listen.
You sound like you've been sucking dick all day. What's good with you?
Yo, you're talking to Palmyra's finest right there.
Exactly.
Don't disrespect the law.
Anyway,
keep pushing.
Let's talk about the predictions for this week. Okay. The Eagles have the Giants, which we're going to win the game easily. Not easily. Not easily. Let me take it back. Let me take it back.
Okay.
Whenever you play someone for a third time and it's a divisional opponent,
100%,
it's going to be a little harder. But there's not a team in this league that scares me, honestly. If the Eagles play, if the Eagles can play, Jalen's back.
So you said there's no one in the league that scares you right now?
The only team that scares me is only 2 teams.
There we go.
The 49ers.
Dallas Cowboys.
and the worst of Malik Howard, suck it in. It's the freaking 49ers and it's the Kansas City Chiefs. But I don't think the 49ers played another team like us where we can go point for point and our defense is just as good as their defense, right? And then when we get to the Super Bowl and we play the Chiefs, granted, it's going to be like, yeah, we both have 2 high-power offenses, but the difference is going to be we have a legit fucking defense. They don't.
Exactly what I said, Tone.
So you agree with him, Liam?
Yeah, on our show last week when I had our Super Bowl matchup, I said it's good, 2 high-powered offenses, but one of these defenses are going to have to make a play or a couple plays. The Eagles' defense is going to be that one.
Okay.
And if you remember, when the Chiefs lost to Tampa Bay is because of the one thing. Their offensive line could not handle that defensive line. If you don't know stats, Malik, I'll tell you. You know the Cowboys is third in sacks. You know who's number one? The only team in the NFL with 4 people with 10 sacks.
So stats to you are overall, right? That's what you're looking for.
Are you mine? Is freaking amazing. Don't cut me off again. Have 2 all-pro corners. The fact that Darius Slay was is fucking sickening.
That he was what?
Sickening. Held off the all-pro team, and Bradbury made it. It's crazy. But it's whatever.
Slay's shitty, just so you know.
Oh, shut up. And we also had a top 5 safety in Chauncey Garner, who led the lead in interceptions and missed 6 games. Let's not forget about that.
And he's back, fully healthy now.
All over that fucking defense.
I agree with your defense, but I'm not putting Slay into that discussion. I think Slay's a fraud, and I'm going to stick. I'll stay on that. I'll stay on that ledge on my own. Like, I would honestly tell you, the only person that blows huh?
Trayvon is not a fraud.
Hey, Liam, is Trayvon a fraud to me?
Yeah, he just went on a huge rant.
Just went off on a rant that the 2 players listen, nigga, the 2 people that I said that were the losers on the Cowboys team were the kicker and Trayvon Diggs. So you trust me. But I stand on it that I don't think Slay's your guy anymore. He had a little lucky stint of 6 or so games, but he's not. If anyone in your defense loses it for you, it's Slay.
He's been an elite corner in this league for a decade. And listen, I want you to insert this clip into next week's episode when he has a pick 6 against Dak.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, we beat the 49ers? Thank you, bro.
I'm telling we're going to get to your game. I have a weird feeling you might. But even if they don't, and to Tone's point about the 49ers, Brock Purdy has never seen anything like Philadelphia. He's not seen anything like Lincoln Financial Field.
Agreed.
He might not leave there alive.
Hold on. This might be off topic, but hold on. For the 49ers, right, do you trade Trey Lance this offseason? Is Purdy your guy?
Oh, no.
I don't think you can trade him.
In my opinion, his 5-6 games that he played, if you look at the stats and whatever, QBR, all that shit, he played like a top 5 quarterback this year. In those 5 games, not the whole year, those 5 games. And it shows, Kyle Shanahan's showing, it does not matter who's his quarterback. He's going to ball the fuck out. So, do you trade Trey Lance for, second, 3rd round pick to pick up some fucking draft picks that you traded half your draft picks for Lance, and then you trade a good majority for C-Mac? So, do you trade Trey Lance this offseason?
Well, I think, honestly, Tone, I think of what you just said is the reason they won't. What they gave up to get him, and it's still so early. I mean, it's not his fault he got hurt. You're right. Brock Purdy's been awesome. But both these guys are still on a rookie deal. You're not paying Brock Purdy anything. So worst case, it's not like you're paying 2 quarterbacks, massive contracts right now. They're both on rookie deals, so you can kind of work that in a specific way. I don't know if he is necessarily the starter, but I think if you're the Niners, you hang on to both. And if something happens to one, you kind of throw in the other and hope that it works.
Have another Winston Foles situation?
You could. You very well could. I mean, listen, if Brock Purdy goes out and wins the whole thing, you can't have him be your backup next year.
Yeah, in that case, yeah. I don't think you want to talk about system. Yeah, I agree with you, system, but who would you rather have in that system? Purdy or Lance, even a hurt Lance?
Who knows? What happened to Lance?
Yeah, the competition, he outbeat him this year. And preseason, whatever work you have, he still out-competed him in the offseason for that job. So,
well, that's a little different in the offseason because Trey Lance is the top pick. Brock Purdy is a pick they made because they had a 7th-round pick. Like, they literally had to make it, so why not? I mean, nobody knew that Brock Purdy was going to be doing this.
Brock Purdy's not. I'm just not buying into Brock Purdy is Mr. Irrelevant, and look what he's doing. He's that good of a quarterback. I don't want to play into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because no matter what, coaching can only get you so far. At the end of the day, let's be honest here.
Well, who do you have right now? The Bengals and Bills.
We haven't got into that yet. We could jump into if are you done? Are you done talking your bullshit of your Eagles?
EAGLES Eagles. Anyway.
Oh my God, you know how to spell. What was it? What do we have going? We want to move on to predictions, Liam.
Yeah. Let's just do predictions. We'll do predictions for the 4 since we have. I guess we're talking Eagles Giants now.
Mm-hmm.
Malik, you said 10-point win for the Eagles.
Yeah,
I'll go. Fucking, I don't know, 33-20 Birds.
Okay. Tone?
It's not bad. You know what? I'm not going to lie. I feel like we're coming off a 2 week. I'm going to go 21-28 Eagles. I feel like we're going to make it closer than we used to be.
Okay. Now, quickly going over the Niners Cowboys. I don't fucking know. The Vegas, this line is scaring me a little bit. It's saying Cowboys.
Really?
Yeah. Niners are only 3.5 point favorites. Malik, to give you a little bit of like the betting background as we do, what Vegas will normally do is they'll give the home team a 3-point head start.
Okay.
So what that shows me, and just to use another game as an example that we'll get to, Chiefs are 8.5 point favorites at home. That tells me if they were playing at a neutral site, no home field advantage, they would have the Chiefs favored by 5.5. So this tells me that they're almost expecting a little bit of a toss-up. Mm-hmm. If the Cowboys are firing like they were firing on Monday, they very well may win. But what are your guys' thoughts? Tone, prediction, who wins?
For Cowboys 49ers?
Yeah.
I think this is the end of an era. I think 49ers win. The defense, I feel like the defense is going to expose the holes that's been in the Cowboys' offense all year long. I feel as though this is the end of Mike McCarthy. Yes, he's going to fire that coach, and Zeke is going to be gone next year. I got the 49ers dominating 28-14. And just because that score doesn't sound like it's going to be like, it's going to be a lot of empty calorie points from fucking Dak like he always do.
Yeah, he does.
He's going to be winning the whole fucking game, and then at the end, Dak's going to be like, hey guys, let's go. And he'll start throwing the ball. That's some empty calories. I feel like the 49ers are going to hold it down, and it's going to be Eagles 49ers.
Well, I can tell you obviously don't watch anything in regards to sports besides the fucking Eagles radio. You said three things that are false. First of all, Jerry Jones not getting rid of McCarthy. They have too good a relationship. Second of all, this is the year for Zeke. If we decide to pay him next year, or if we get rid of him to knock off that contract.
And Tony,
okay, listen, bitch. You interrupt me one more time. Welcome to our show.
First of all, you're not going to skip Bayless me and I'm Shannon Sharp. You're not going to do that, buddy.
You just cut me off, stupid.
Okay? You're not going to do that. Continue.
I just said if you listen, so you're not even listening. Open your fucking. This is why I said you don't actively listen. Actively listen. I said that this is the year where they make the decision if they decide to keep Zeke or if they decide to go and get rid of him to liquidate our funds to get that heavy contract back of, I don't know, what is it, $22 million or so that's on the line. It's a heavy contract that's sitting out there. So I think listen, nigga, damn. You know, listen, this is the last time you're on the show.
Yeah.
Fucking, no, I think I would love to keep the 1-2 punch of, like I said earlier in the show, fullback as Zeke, Pollard as our dominant back, but I think we can't pay him. So we're going to have to get rid of him and bring someone else in that could be a dual threat. You could easily pick up a 3rd round, 4th round running back that could do the same thing Zeke is doing right now. But I have the Cowboys. I would say the Cowboys lose, but not much of a bigger margin. I think we lose by 10, but I think we surprise some folks if we're able to keep the same kind of reign of being able to fire on all cylinders, throwing. And I think we're not remembering is we got to get that pressure on Purdy. When Purdy starts seeing some ghosts, let's put some pressure in his face. Let's have him trying to make plays, go beyond his talents, and see what he can do. But I still have the Niners coming out of that one.
Yeah, this might be the only time you ever hear me say this. But
you want the Cowboys to win.
I'm a Cowboys fan. Oh, I'm a Cowboys fan. 1,000%. I would much rather have the Cowboys come to Lincoln Financial Field for the NFC Championship game. I think that's going to be a fucking smoke show.
Yeah.
Again, like I said, the Cowboys have to fire on all cylinders like they did on Monday.
Yeah.
But I'm going to take the Cowboys to win 27-23. This Brock Purdy magic ends. He has a couple mistakes. I, for the first time in my life and for the only time, will be rooting for the Cowboys this Sunday.
Yeah. Hey, man, you never fucking know. You never know. This is playoff time. I'm not expecting it to happen. Hey, if we make it to the NFC Championship and it's Eagles Cowboys, either way, I'm having fun. I'm turning up. That my Super Bowl has already been conquered with if we beat the 49ers.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
That's true.
If we play the Cowboys next week, mind you, I'm off. Hell yeah. If we play the Cowboys next week, I would be scared only because the cow bitches. But then again, when they won that game at Jerry's World and everybody treated that like the Super Bowl. So you know what? It'd be a great. You know what? Crazy. I'm not gonna lie. I take it back. The NFL is fucking rigged. So, they gonna make sure.
Yo, he's not a realistic fan.
We can't have him on the show anymore.
The NFL's rigged. So honestly, I take it back. The Cowboys is gonna win this week. It's gonna be Eagles Cowboys, and it's gonna be the Bills versus the Chiefs. They trying to have this new Peyton Manning, Tom Brady shit going on with Mahomes and Allen.
I think you have the wrong Tom Brady Peyton Manning debate. If you remember last year, that AFC Championship game was Mr. Joe Burrow and Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. I'm going to take the Bengals to win this week.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They want that Brady Manning, but it's not going to be Allen Mahomes.
Yeah, it's not going to be Allen.
So do you think wait, because you know what? I love Joey B. I love Joey B. I'm putting that out there right now. You feel me? I feel like he's going to be the.
Yeah, he told me we bet. I said Joe Burrow would be a bust, and he stood by Joe Burrow.
I told you, mind you, this is Mahomes' league. He's the best quarterback in the league, hands down. That's not even a thing. But that's for that number 2 spot. Is it going to be Burrow over Josh Allen?
100%.
Yeah, you're right.
We just had a discussion earlier that we don't think that Josh Allen, if he loses this game, it's over for Josh Allen.
Over?
Not over. Not over.
It's over.
He's
not that winning. He's not your winning quarterback.
The dick riding needs to be over.
Yeah.
And what needs to start is a little criticism before we crown him as, like Tone just said, the second best quarterback.
Yeah. What'd you say, Tone?
I believe the dick riding, but I don't think it's over. I feel like even if he loses this game, he's still a top 5 quarterback.
No, over as in the sense of the hype. We can't keep hyping him up.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing I feel about fucking Justin Herbert. He get hyped.
That's true too.
Every preseason. You said this a couple of weeks ago too, Liam. So we both picked. I'm picking the Bengals to win as well. Yeah. Bengals to win. Who do you got, Tone? You got the Bills.
My gut. I want the Bengals to win because I believe in them. I believe in them, but I do think Buffalo's going to come out. I feel like, and also just because of the thing with the fucking, I don't want to. I'm fucking up his name. The safety with him. I feel like the league is just scripting this shit, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
I do think you're going to have him come out pregame to get the crowd like going.
Yeah, sure. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, I hate the shit. Other teams are wearing the shirts and they're crying and shit. This happens every week to players. A player just died.
I think it's fucked up that this game is not at a neutral site, but whatever.
Why?
That's true.
Because why? So the Bengals is Bills fucking game because they had the better record, correct?
Yeah. So you're right, Tone. If the Bengals, if that game would have happened and the Bengals won, then this game would be flipped. It would be in Cincinnati.
In Cincy. Oh, I get what you're saying.
So that this game should have been. You know how the NFL said, "Oh, in the AFC Championship, this happened." No, if any of those two teams played each other, this should be in a mutual site. This should be fucking Philly. That's what this game should be at.
Can't have it in Philly.
I'm just chatting, but this game should not be.
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying. And then we have the Chiefs versus Jags. Is anyone going to stand on a ledge and pick the Jags for a weird come over?
No, not this year.
Chargers.
Okay. All right.
Not the fucking Chargers.
I got Chiefs.
Love Dougie P. Love Trevor Lawrence, but the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs.
I think we should start doing a segment of Delusional Tone segment going forward. Okay.
What the hell is delusional?
Yeah, you have so much good points just scattered with delusion. That's throughout your discussions.
Wait, one more thing before I hit this game might be over. The fucking Micah Parsons. Are we going to talk about how everybody was dick riding him, saying, "Oh, this is the new LP. He is amazing," and this bitch just float away. You don't really hear from him. But all we do the last couple of weeks of the season is just hear his voice and not his actual play.
Did you watch the last Monday night game?
Yeah, playoff game?
Yeah, did you watch it?
Nah, I fell asleep.
Oh, okay. So I'm not talking to you. Goodbye, bro. Because I can tell you didn't watch. If you watch the games, you see you hear from me every week. Last week Thank you. It's my show. Last week, or a couple weeks ago, you did hear me call Parsons out for being completely stupid when he made those comments versus Jalen Hurts, right? And we see him keep tweeting, doing dumb shit. And I said that to Leo. I'm like, he just needs to shut the fuck up and worry about ball. Stop tweeting, right? But when you look at the game, when you actually watch the games, I know you're a stat person. You like to see the sacks. You like to see all those things.
You're literally doing what I'm saying. You feel fucking happy because you play the fucking Buccaneers, who had a terrible offensive fucking line.
That's true too.
You didn't play nobody good at the fucking line. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, so if he even if he gets no sacks, versus San Francisco, but he causes breakups and he causes havoc. What do you say? Or you're a stats person?
He's going against the best left tackle in the league.
What do you say? If that occurs, he gets no sacks, but he causes mayhem. He causes forced plays. He causes running out of the pockets. He causes other positional players to get sacks.
He did his fucking job.
Thank you. That's what he's done for the last 3 weeks, bitch. Watch the fucking games. Oh my God, you don't watch the Cowboys, bro. Let's see. 100%.
And I bet you his bitch ass won't do anything.
You're right. We'll see.
Okay. And there's a reason why Hassan Reddick is better than him this year.
Yeah.
Liam always praise. Thank you, Liam. You do a great job, Liam.
No.
Thank you.
I've said the same thing.
And thank you for protecting the public.
Liam, you're like the white shirt and shark. I'm sorry. Bayless guy every fucking week.
Tone, I can see if you watched a single episode of ours.
Yeah.
The kid always, actually I deleted my YouTube app, but I watch all the clips. Anyway, the kid acts like he fucking does anything, but he just fucking talks, okay? He just fucking talks. Liam, don't ever let him come at you like this, okay? It's your
Thank
shit.
you, Tone.
Liam, have I ever come at you in a sense of who's better, Rhetoric or Parsons this year?
Listen.
You're not going to say it, I'll say it for you. Fuck you.
I can simply go off and say that I completely agree that what's his name has had a complete sweat as well. Parsons has been talking too much, and I said that from the rip. So that will be. Thank you. I appreciate you guys tuning in to listen to Tone's rhetoric. He'll never be on this episode ever again. Yeah. Only for his delusional takes. If we want some craziness. Any other takes you want to have around the league?
No. I think let's gear up for another fun weekend.
I'm excited to see the Eagles play. I want to see what they come out with. Cowboys. I'm good. I'm good with losing now. I'm good with going out. Go fuck up the Eagles. Let's see if the Eagles can beat a great team.
I have a very weird feeling.
You want it to be real.
I do.
Just know, if they lose, I'm calling your girl up. Fucking San Francisco loses. Oh my God. Get ready for a FaceTime. Put her on the phone.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'll send her a fucking jersey if she wants one.
Oh shit.
Sabrina. But anything else?
No, I think I'm all good, man.
Awesome. Hey, thank you guys. Continue to support In Those We Trust podcast. Catch us on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, as well as the YouTube channel for video. I thank you guys for supporting. Follow us on Instagram at WeTrust_podcast. Mm-hmm. Follow Liam on Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Appreciate you guys. Peace.
All right. Thanks, Lee.